Imagine this. You're constantly there for everyone. Friends, family, colleagues, even strangers. You've been taught that kindness is a virtue, something that defines you as a good person. It brings people together, nurtures relationships, and adds harmony to the world. But have you ever wondered if there's a limit? What if your kindness is actually draining you bit by bit without you even realizing it? Today we'll explore why setting boundaries around your kindness is essential, not selfish. Kindness, in its purest form, is powerful. It's a way of showing compassion and empathy, of supporting others and making connections. But kindness without boundaries can lead to unintended consequences that most people overlook. When you constantly give without setting clear limits, you may end up drained, resentful, or even disconnected from your authentic self. When you're always there for others, you're left with little energy for yourself. Without realizing it, you're neglecting your own needs in favor of keeping others comfortable or satisfied. The problem is that most people don't see the difference between kindness and self-sacrifice. We're told to be generous, to say yes whenever we can. Yet this belief can harm us if we don't also learn to respect our own limits. Being kind doesn't mean you have to put everyone's needs before your own. It's not about saying yes to every request or bending over backward at the expense of your own well-being. True kindness respects boundaries. It's about balance, not constant giving. When we give without boundaries, it's easy to fall into a trap of people-pleasing. You might think you're helping, but you're actually teaching people to expect your time, energy, and resources to be endlessly available. Over time, people come to assume you'll always be there for them. And when you're not, they may even feel let down or frustrated. This expectation eventually becomes internalized. You begin to feel guilty for not meeting others' demands, even when those demands are unreasonable or overwhelming. Imagine your energy as a reservoir. Every act of kindness is a draw from this reserve. If you keep giving without taking time to refill through rest, self-care, or solitude, you'll eventually run dry. When you reach this point, kindness stops being authentic and becomes forced, even a performance. It's no longer a genuine expression of your true self. It's an obligation. When this happens, kindness loses its beauty and can even breed resentment. You may start to feel used, undervalued, or taken advantage of. But here's the hard truth. You've played a part in creating this dynamic by not setting boundaries from the start. Another hidden cost of unchecked kindness is that it can disconnect you from your own life goals and desires. The energy that you could be using to grow, pursue your passions, or invest in your future instead gets funneled into the lives of others. While it's noble to help, it's not sustainable if it means putting your own path on hold. Without boundaries, kindness can become a way to avoid confrontation. Many people use kindness to keep peace, dodge uncomfortable conversations, or protect others from feeling bad. But in doing so, they end up suppressing their own truth. They agree to things they don't want to do and suppress their own needs, creating an internal dissonance, a feeling of being at odds with oneself. When kindness becomes a mask, it creates a gap between who you are and how you act. This dissonance can build up stress, anxiety, and even resentment over time. It's like you're living to satisfy the expectations of others instead of honoring your own values and desires. Constantly being available for others without setting boundaries also drains you emotionally. If you're always absorbing other people's stresses, worries, and problems, you're bound to feel overwhelmed. Empathy is essential for connection, but if it's not managed, it can lead to emotional burnout. Setting boundaries is not cruel or selfish. It's a way to honor your limits and to maintain your energy, ensuring that your kindness is genuine and sustainable. A boundary says, "I value you, but I also value myself." When you set boundaries, you create the space to recharge, reflect, and grow. It might mean saying no more often, taking time for yourself, or prioritizing your own goals, even when others may want you to prioritize theirs. Ironically, when you set boundaries, your kindness becomes more powerful. Instead of feeling depleted, you can give from a place of abundance. When your needs are met, the kindness you offer is more authentic, more impactful, and more meaningful. When kindness respects boundaries, it's a form of self-love. You're not depleting yourself to help others. You're showing up as your best self, rather than as someone tired, frustrated, or resentful. True kindness doesn't mean sacrificing yourself for the sake of others. It's about finding balance. By establishing clear boundaries, you honor your needs while still offering support to those around you. This creates a healthier, more sustainable way of being kind, one that empowers both you and the people in your life.